What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It is your boy, MacDaGiantsFan, coming at y'all with the Week 16 edition of the True Blue Aftermath.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
I'm on one today. It's a great day to be great, bro. Remember that. It's a great day to be great. Let's go out here. Let's get a win. Let's focus on the details, man.
What is going on out there, New York Giant Nation? This was a tough one to swallow right here, man. The New York Giants, they came out, they fought hard. They gave the Minnesota Vikings everything they could handle. But at the end of the day, just couldn't make quite enough plays to secure this victory, man. The offense came out there, look, they came out firing today. They did what I expected and wanted them to do. So I'm gonna take my hats off to them, man. They came out there, took the chains off of Daniel Jones a bit, had him slinging that ball down the field a little bit more today, man, a lot more. But it's still just not enough today, man. Come up a little bit short. What's going on, Logan, man? Yeah, it's a tough one though, man. Just a tough one. Defense just couldn't hold on just enough at the end there, late in the game, man. Overall, though, all things considering, against this high-powered Minnesota Vikings offense, they played pretty well for most of the way. It's unfortunate they came up a little bit short there, like late in the end of the game right there, but it is what it is. Kicker hits a big 61-yard field goal, man. That ain't no easy field goal to just go out there and nail like that. So I get a kicker props too, man. Definitely need to do that, Logan. Definitely need to be drafting a cornerback, man. We need a cornerback or two, man. Who knows? Because that was the difference in this game today, man. Them blitzes wasn't always getting home, but they would still wreaking enough havoc that if we just had some better corner play out there, man, in the secondary, who knows, man. Some of them passes probably was getting broken up. What's going on, Miz? How you doing, man? I dropped the link if you want to come on. But, yeah, some of those, went out there, like I said, played tough. Like I said, people that's been clamoring, banging the tables for Daniel Jones, throw the ball downfield. You got some of that today, man. Like I said, he was hitting some nice throws downfield, some big plays. And if you're gonna sit here and try to nitpick at that interception and try to say, oh, Daniel Jones do that interception, he sucks, you're fucking crazy, man. That kid went out there and played. This, to me, was one of the best games I've ever seen Daniel Jones play. This, to me, was one of the best games I've ever seen Daniel Jones play. I got you, Miz. I'm about to drop it right now. But, so it's just tough. Saquon Barkley with that clutch touchdown run. Yeah, now people are going to probably break this down and say, oh, the Giants, you scored too fast. Shouldn't have put the points on the board so fast. But, it is what it is, man. We gotta do what we gotta do out there, man. At that play, opportunity presented itself. Saquon Barkley went out there and hit the home run, man. Like I said, defense just wasn't able to hold up just enough. Maybe 5 more yards. And that field goal wouldn't have been happening. But they caught us, man. Said we can't pay Jones and Barkley's big deals because Thomas and McKinney's contracts are coming up as well. Well, yeah, they're going to have to figure something out, man. That's why they get paid the big bucks to do that, man. They're going to have to figure a way because right now, you know what? This game showed me something that I haven't seen in Daniel Jones, man. He had a command of this offense, man, and with some better weapons, some legitimate. This game, it absolutely was. If with some better weapons in this game, we're talking about something different here, man. We're talking about something different.
What's up, Mac?
What's going on?
Nothing, bro.
Miz, how you doing, man? This game
was heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm heartbroken, bro, because the Giants outplayed this team today, and for more than anything in the world, Daniel Jones deserved this game, and we continue to watch him get better and better and better and carry a bag of crap. Outside of Hodgkins, these receivers are not good, and Richie James dropped the playoff spot today. Let's be honest right now. The game came down to that big over the middle, and he dropped the slant in his chest with 20 yards in front of him, and it would have put the game close to over. And it hurt, man. And the interception dropped by the kid Flock. whatever. But those two drops right there are the football game. Let's be honest. And what are people gonna say? I want to hear the people that hate Daniel Jones. Will you continue to be biased and ignore? You're watching growth on a big level by this guy, and he's doing it when nobody's special outside of Barkley. And when they get him receivers next year, imagine what Daniel Jones, he's gonna tear the league apart. And I've been trying to tell people this. Just patience, man. But we
Yeah, I'm gonna
played with
tell you
one of the
what.
best today. And we
Tell you what.
outplayed one of the best today.
This kid, man, like I said, I'm not a hater. I'm not a lover. I've been that guy in the middle with Daniel Jones. But today he showed me a lot, man. He showed me he's a legitimate starting quarterback in this league. He is not a joke. He is the real thing. He can get it done. But today it was definitely the weapons on the outside. Hodgkins had a big day. I mean, Richie James, for what it's worth, had a nice, solid game for what it's worth. It's just that the couple plays he didn't make were just, they stood out and they were big, man, and it hurt this team. They were in big spots. So yeah, it's just the weapons, man. The weapons on this football team. They just have to improve in this offseason, and this New York Giants team is going to be a dangerous one with Daniel Jones at the helm, I believe, going forward, man, into the next seasons and beyond with this regime. This coaching staff, I believe in it, man. And this defense, I know they didn't do quite enough late in this game. What's going on, Alex? They didn't do quite enough. They came up a little short. Right there, but also look at all the injury. Look at the guys we got out there playing against Justin Jefferson. Look at the guys we got trying to cover Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, receivers of that caliber, and they was out there giving it everything they got, man. So this is just a tough one to swallow. Man. And what it's worth, we got the help we needed. That we're still alive and still very much control our own destiny, So we can take that as a glass half full kind of thing today.
What's good about this game is, from my experience in my life, this game, the type of gritty fight that the Giants put up today, and believe me, the whole country saw it for the second straight week. The Giants, there's a lot of growth in this team right now from a game like this. When you play and match up with the top 3 or 4 team in the league and they're home on Christmas, and you go blow for blow and give them everything in the world they can handle, that's growth. And now you look for the Giants to come home next week and bury the Colts. And I'm talking about the Giants win a game where it shouldn't even be close once we get to the fourth quarter. And you go clinch this playoff spot. It's right there for us next week to celebrate in our home stadium. And I'm almost positive that we're making the playoffs next week. And I'm looking forward to it. So we lost a heartbreaker, but we won a lot today. The Giants did win a lot today. You're starting to realize we have a franchise quarterback. You see a feisty defense. And, they're playing so good with so much missing pieces. People cannot ignore this. I got to admit, for the first time, Nick Gates had a bad game. We can be honest about that, but it's okay. But, dude, there's times when James looks so good, and there's times when James loses games. And for the second time this year, and I don't hate the guy because he plays his heart out, for the second time this year, James has cost us a football game.
Yeah, I hope they do go out there and just blow the doors off of the Colts next week. Alex, man, I hope you get to enjoy your time out there in the cold and watching this team hopefully clinch a playoff spot, brother. Yes, but yeah, sir. Richie James, I mean, like I said, it's terrible. Can you look at his stat line? I mean, he 8 catches, 90 yards. But like you said, it's the plays he didn't make are the ones that stand out, So you take what's actually a pretty good day and you kind of ruin it with those couple of plays right there that just really hurt this New York Giant offense today, hurt this team. I mean, for what it's worth, Daniel Jones was basically walking this offense down the field most of the game. I mean, basically walking this offense down the field just with no problem, man. He had full command of this offense.
Bellinger, man. Bellinger dropped a big fumble. We were headed towards the end zone on that drive.
Absolutely. Who knows? I mean,
I called this game on my video 2 days ago on my picks. Anyone who watches my picks video, I said the game will come down to a field goal, and I had picked the Vikings 27-24. I said the Giants would cover.
I picked the Giants 27-24.
Yeah,
I
man.
picked.
It's crazy how we all had around the same score. It's like Vegas knew also.
Dang.
But yo, it's
This.
listen, man. It hurts. But when we look back on this in midweek, I think this game made us better, Mac. You know what I
I
mean? You're
mean,
old
I
school.
learned something. I learned something about this team today. I know before I was questioning, can this team go out there and play with the big boys? This team can go out there and play with anybody. Go out there and play because I mean they went out there and they went blow for blow with a team that scored 40 points in a half of football a week ago.
Right,
So they went out there and went blow for blow with that squad, man. In their home stadium, very hostile environment,
right.
and this team, as banged up as they are, man, almost pulled it off. That touchdown drive at the late, say, capped
Wow.
off with the Saquon Barkley run.
Oh, Dak just threw a screen pick for a 6.
Oh yeah, I just saw that shit.
It's 10-0
But
Eagles. Wow. I'm shocked.
But I don't know. It's just a tough one. I mean, because at the end of the day, as a fan, you still want to see your team win, you know. And
Yeah.
and in some ways, they did kind of win. Like I said, we still saw something today. Something I think that let you know that this team is for real, man. And we're gonna be a problem going forward. Like I said, maybe not. Like I said, not quite this year, but get another off season with this regime. Get some more of the right pieces in here, and we off and running, man. New York Giants is the real thing,
Well,
man.
look, man, I'll tell you this, man. I think we have a wide receiver in Hodgins. I like what I see in him. So you bringing him back because he looks like a pretty good. He ain't a game breaker, but he's good, man. Anything touches his hands, it seems like he catches. I like him. I will say
He had
goodbye to Slayton. You want to keep James as a depth piece on a cheap deal? That's fine. You go get 2 receivers in this draft, Mac. 2 real deal wide receivers. In the first round, you get a big time wide receiver. I'm praying for the TCU kid, but we'll see.
I mean, they gonna have to do something, like you said, because the weapons definitely need to be upgraded. It was clear cut difference in this game, man. It really did come down to it because the offense was moving the ball down the field, and it's just those couple of mishaps, man, cost this football team and better quality guys out there making those plays. So I mean, as far as the Cordell Fly interception overturn, I mean, still a good play by a rookie. Unfortunately, the defense couldn't come back out there and close the deal on the drive. So,
Yeah.
Hey guys,
what's going on, Jeff, man? It's like we were just talking, man. It was a tough one, man, today up there in Minneapolis. But this team fought hard all the way through, man, all the way through and through. And I'm still proud of this football team today, man. Take this energy, take this disappointment, fly back home next week, take it all out on the Indianapolis Colts on New Year's Day, on the first day of the New Year's, man, of 2023, man. Go take it all out on the Colts next week, man.
I agree. I'm not. I feel the same way as you guys do. I'm proud of this football team. They fought back when it looked like that this team was going to be in trouble, going down by 8. And credit to Daniel Jones, credit to Saquon Barkley driving down the field, Bellinger with the 2-point conversion, and I mean the defense for the most part played a solid game, but at the same time they couldn't make the stops at the end, and I got to give credit to that kicker. 61-yard field goal, and let's just be real. He would have probably made it from 70, the way that kick was made. So,
Well,
it's a
the
tough
game's
one.
in the dome. I knew he was hitting that. It's in the dome, Jeff. If that's
Yeah, but
outdoors, he's not even
but
coming close.
probably not. But at the same time, that was a hell of a kick. I got to
Oh
give the
yeah.
kicker credit.
Oh, I don't
That's a
take it
perfect
away.
kick.
I don't take
With the
it away.
weather conditions today outdoor, they probably
Oh
wouldn't even
no.
attempted it. They would have just threw the Hail
0
Mary.
degrees.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, yo, again, man, I don't care, man. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. James catches that ball that hit him right in the nipples over the middle. He's got 15 yards in front of him with nobody around. This is a different ball game. And then you could go back to the flock dropped interception also. That changes the whole football game. I'm not happy with Bellinger either because Jones put a nice post route that we've all been begging for all year, and this guy fumbles it, which he usually don't do that. I don't expect that out of him.
It's just ball
Couldn't believe
security
it.
thing. I mean, honest for what it's worth, it was a great play by the defender. He did come in there and tomahawk that thing right up out of there. So I mean, it was still got to hold on to the football though. There though.
But yo,
Yeah,
call me
McLeod dropped
Mr.
the,
Positive,
also
man.
Alex said McLeod dropped the interception as well. He
Yes, he
absolutely
did.
did.
Call me Mr. Positive. This type of loss where the Giants showed them own selves that they could play with the best pound for pound, punch for punch, is going to make this team much better in the future. I'm telling you. This was a growth game. And that last drive by Jones, all the haters on Twitter could say what they want. Guess what? That was a contract drive. And you know what else I saw today? They now do trust Jones because they let him loose today. He was allowed to throw most of his plays he passed today. Took shots downfield, threw a lot of balls, and they're starting to let him come out of the shell. And I
Absolutely.
like
That's what they need to do. Like I've been saying, loosen that defense up, and then Barkley was able to start making some things happen. Like I said, you got to take those shots, and taking some of those shots, plays was getting made. Slayton made a couple nice catches down the field.
We got something.
Hodgins,
Hodgins kid
Hodgins,
has got something. That kid.
Hodgins made a couple nice catches, man. So, but I read what Alex's comment here, man. Fire Thomas McGay, the special suck. I do tend to agree. It may be time for a bit of a change, man.
nah,
No, I'm not
not
gonna
yet.
blame
Let's
McGahee.
finish the
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
blame
season.
know,
McGahee.
man. Something ain't right. You got to get these guys. I mean, I
Players
don't
got to
say we making
execute.
enough teams.
You
They
got
do,
better.
but
You gotta
Players
get
got to
better talent
execute.
on this team. Let's be honest. You gotta get a little
Yeah.
better talent also.
I'm not gonna blame McGahee. There was a block punt. McGahee's doing all he can with the players he's given. So the special teams has been horrendous. Not named Graham Gano. So
what's going on here, squad?
hey, coach.
What's up,
What's up,
coach?
Coach Ed?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
You know, like I said, it's a tough one today, man. And
Mm-hmm.
they went out there, they fought hard, but it just wasn't quite enough, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately, the Giants, they actually, to me, as crazy as it's going to sound, they beat two teams today. And what do I mean by they beat themselves? They did beat Minnesota to some extent. Um, the critical mistakes is what really did it in. But I still have to tip my hat to Minnesota. They did do their thing. Um, I still felt like, as I said earlier, Jeff, I said the Giants were going to win this game. And
Should have.
the fumble, the interception, the block punt, the drop pass on third and four, deep in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's just little mistakes there. The interception, I mean, I get it. It happens, but, you got to squeeze that because that's points. Just like the turnovers got them points, it gets us points. So,
I think the
but
defense as well will. The defense giving up those third and long plays. We can't. That's the one thing I've been critical of the defense is they give up third and longs. You can't give up third and nines, third and tens. Doesn't matter who's on the other side and who they target. They targeted Darnay Holmes, and he got beat multiple times on those plays. So they put Jefferson in the slot. So the defense, you cannot give up those third and longs. Multiple times they did that, and that's what did us in as well. So the defense for the most part was solid, but also we lost Ojolari. And I don't know if did Leo come back in the game because he was banged up as well.
yeah, he was there. He was there. He was
Okay.
there.
Okay. I didn't know if he came back in the game, but
Yeah.
Ojolari wasn't there and the pass rush wasn't the same.
I mean, they competed all year for the most part. They've been competing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what Joe Shane said. So, I definitely respect and appreciate that. They did compete. They fought. Daniel Jones showed his leadership skills, not just for the offense, but the whole team. I mean, that offense was in a rhythm today for the most part. I mean, yeah, there were mistakes, but if you look at the plays that from the whole season, he was in a good rhythm today. He really was. So, and he played fearlessly. And yeah, the interception, that was a bad one. You can't have it. He should have threw it a little bit. Its timing was off, and he needed to lead it a little bit more in front of um, Hodgins. But you know, the run game was. I mean, they did hit us with the run game, but it didn't dominate the way I thought.
Yeah.
And Cousins was Cousins. I'm sorry, he was. He was exactly who I thought he was. He put the ball in harm's way at too many times. Um, We missed interceptions and, but, like I said, in the end, you still got to respect the fact that they won and kicked a 61-yard field goal. Amazing. Amazing. The only thing with Wink I questioned was that the screen. You got to play that. I get you want to get the ball out of their
Yeah.
hands.
Alex says it
But
right there.
yeah, I mean, you got to play the six. And I know Wink. What the Wink's model is the blitz, and I'm kind of like him too to a certain extent. But with the time coming down the way it was, you got to play sticks first, and they were killing us with the screens throughout the course of the game. So I kind of expected that, you know. And the only thing with Kafka was that the third down where they played Hodgkins on that quick end because I read the safeties. Safeties were sitting at about 9 to 12. In this day and age, usually safeties are 12 to 15. So if they're sitting so shallow, they're playing the stick. So but I don't blame the coaches overall. I mean, it was more execution than anything.
Yeah.
That's really where it comes down to because it was a good game plan on both sides of the ball for the most part. It came down to execution. We could sit here and pick different plays, which is why I'm disappointed. I'm not
We dropped a lot
dejected.
of
The
passes
only
too.
thing,
I feel the same way. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
so the only thing I can say about the interception, about Jones' interception, is like sometimes you do gotta also recognize the defender you playing against. Patrick Peterson, a veteran in this league. You got to understand, Hodgkins already done showed him up a couple of times early in this game. Patrick Peterson's going to look to come get some. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't keep poking the bear. You know what I mean? You got to know when to pull off. So that's the one thing I can say about the interception as well. But overall, Jones played a lights out game, man, and he made me proud today to say he's the New York Giants quarterback. I can honestly say that with a straight face. Jones looked like a real legit franchise quarterback out there today. That touchdown drive to tie this game up, and then even on the 2-point conversion, it looked like the play was totally supposed to go to Barkley. It wasn't there. Jones had to extend the play. Kept it alive. Found Bellinger in the back of the end zone and threw the perfect little touch pass. That's what franchise quarterbacks do. And Jones stepped up to the plate right there, right then and there, man. And he look. I don't want to look down Twitter all week and see people trying to nitpick and find things wrong with what Jones.
Oh, you
Anything
will.
Jones
Don't
did
even look
today,
at it because
man.
you will. You see the haters and they hate him for
They're
all,
already doing
It'll
that.
just be absolutely
for all the
ridiculous,
wrong
man.
reasons. They're not gonna look at the great game he had. They're gonna look at the one intel. They're not even gonna mention James's drop, which basically dropped the football game. How about the
Yeah,
play
like
on the
multiple
last
drops
drive
too.
on 3rd and 10? Was it 3rd and 10 when Daniel Jones rolls out and runs up the right sideline and tries to fucking run over a linebacker? How about that? Nobody will talk about that,
He
right?
tried to truck him. He did try to truck him.
Yeah.
And in that moment, he kind of needed to because he needed the yards. You know what I mean? So he did. That kid was out there doing what he had to do, man. He went out there, and that to me is one of the best, probably maybe the best game I've seen Daniel Jones play as a complete football game. He went out there and put it all on the line for his team, and unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for him today, man. But
He's gonna be here, man. Whether the haters, they'll shut up real quick because you'll see as soon as this season's over, Jones is getting a 3-year contract, 75, 80 million, maybe 4 years. We'll see. I believe what he's showing you now is this is his offense. He got the full command of this team. And this morning, early in the morning, Kayvon Tibbs told the Post the reason why the Giants are playing for a playoff spot at this time of the year is because of their leader, Daniel Jones. He said that. Now, whatever the reason he said it for, maybe give him confidence, whatever. But a lot of the players on this team love him, even the defense. And that's big.
I mean, he's got the respect of his teammates.
Yeah.
This ain't no Zach Wilson situation
Oh,
going
what's
on
up,
over
Mr.
here.
Squad? All I'm saying is stop looking for other kids. We have our franchise quarterback in the building, and he's growing every week, man. I'm telling you.
I'm not even thinking about Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones is the slightest of any issues right now. I want to think about everything else in this football game.
Yeah.
Not minus the quarterback and minus the running back. Because Saquon, he was bottled up for most of the game, but he came alive when we needed him at the end.
Yep.
The drops, we had too many drops in this game. How many drops do we have in this game by our wide receivers?
I lost
3,
count.
4? Exactly, his squad. And how many
Big
missed
ones, too.
tackles, like you said?
Bro. Sorry,
And
man.
and I'm telling you, Darnay Holmes needs to get the hell off the football field. This dude is becoming a
We
major
can't right
liability.
now, Jeff. We can't. We don't got nobody to put
We
in.
have Rodarius Williams, but he's in the doghouse. He's in the doghouse. Just saying it. Flock's got to make a catch on
Listen,
the
they
pick.
play Flock. He drops a huge interception, man. I'm sorry. That was huge. Huge.
No, I agree. I thought it was a catch. I thought he trapped it on the ground. Maybe I saw it from the wrong angle, but I thought he had
Nah,
it.
he didn't. It hit the ground. It bounced
Okay.
on the ground and bounced back up in his arms.
You know who else played well? The safeties. I thought both Julian
They
Love
did.
and Collins had good games today. Both of them.
Julian
Love
Love did a
did
good job in
definitely play
coverage.
well.
Julian Love is a stud. I want him back here. Lock him up.
Yeah. And Collins played well too. He had a nice tip on the outside to Hawkinson, but Hawkinson was that dude that killed us all game. But he had 2
Touchdown.
touchdowns. Yeah.
Zeke Elliott. Touchdown.
I mean,
10-7 over there.
Collins had a
that-
crucial sack for us, man. In the
Yes, he
fourth
did.
quarter.
Oh.
Yes, he
That
did.
second touchdown pass that Hawkinson
Hawkinson.
caught, that was honestly that you can't do it. You can't defend it any better than that.
Yeah.
That was just one of
That was
those.
a beautiful throw by Cousins.
It just was what it was. Is what it is. Like you can't defend it any better, man. It was
Yeah.
perfectly
Yeah.
defended, and he just
I was gonna
somehow
try to
hung on and
blame.
made the catch.
I was looking to say why didn't Love or Holmes make that play, but I'm like, we saw the good and the bad of Cousins. Cousins looked exceptional sometimes in this game, and he looked bad. That's Kirk Cousins in a nutshell. You know, you get both sides of the game because Cousins was actually really, really good in this game at some points, and he was really bad. But also, Evan Neal got beaten quite often on the right side too. Danielle Hunter was tall. Evan Neal was getting beat a lot by Danielle
It's
Hunter
no
on that one
secret.
side.
It's no secret. This off season, Evan Neal's gonna have to work on his pass
Yeah.
blocking. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is. I mean, he's been struggling protecting in his pass protection, man. That's clearly got to be his number one priority.
But you got
And
people
what-
out here calling him a bust, man. and
No,
that
we
shit-
can't
I
do
don't like
that.
shit.
But one thing
hate
I have
that
to say
shit.
real quickly, I'm getting really annoyed with the constant left guard switching with Bredesen and Gates. I can't stand them switching left guards every second. Go with one guy and have that be your guy at left guard. Stop switching Gates and Bredesen because it throws off your offensive line's continuity when you keep switching guys in. This is not Joe Judge's offensive line where you're switching offensive linemen constantly. Put the guy you want out there, and once again, when Bredesen went out there, the offensive line looked better. Why? And we all love Gates. Why is Gates going out there? Gates did not have a great game. He had a few bad penalties in that game too, and gave up some pressures up the middle. Bredesen should be playing. No disrespect to Gates. Bredesen should be playing at left guard. He is the better player. The constant offensive line switching is not good. It's not helping this team.
You're right.
Don't listen to these people, his squad. These are the same people, if you remember, that had Thomas as a bust his first year.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, you have even Eagles fans that'll tell you Jordan Mailata's rookie season wasn't that good. And now,
Yep.
I mean, they consider him a top 10 tackle, maybe even a top 5. So it's just, I mean, I know that Neal didn't have a good game. Feliciano looked like garbage out there, getting thrown like a fucking ragdoll.
But he's a third alternate his squad. He's a third alternate in the Pro
Which
Bowl.
drives me crazy because Andrew Thomas should have been in. I don't know how he doesn't, but that's beside me, man. But I'm proud of Jones, man. I mean, he looked. I agree with you, Mac. You know, I was listening. I wasn't in. I wasn't on with you guys at the time, but I was listening on my phone, and I agree with you, bro. I mean, this is to me. This was the game that Jones looked. He looked like a gunslinger out there. It looked like this coaching staff, this wide receiver core, they had a lot of faith in this kid and
Yes.
faith in the wide receivers too. I mean, I personally, I felt this was his best game so far this season. You can
I
make
agree
an
with
argument. I know people will point to the Washington game a couple years back when he threw 5 touchdowns, the Lions game where he threw 4 touchdowns a couple years back. But I agree with you, man. I mean, this was my favorite. This was a very good game by Daniel Jones.
I agree with
One
you.
of his
Squad.
best, if not his
Absolutely was.
best.
I agree with you.
Absolutely
100% hit squad. It was definitely his best football game. The only thing you can get on Daniel Jones was that one interception. Otherwise, that guy drove us down the field down by 8. Him and Barkley, our 2 leaders on that offense, got the job done, and they put us in a position to at least send that game to overtime. But the special teams and unfortunately the defense, which we have all been praising, the defense let it up in the end. You cannot allow that team to get 2 third down and long conversions. You have to make the stop. Credit to the Vikings offense for making the plays, but at the same time, you've got to make the stops on defense and keep them out of position even for a long field goal.
You're right. You're absolutely right, man. I mean, and tackling's been an issue for this team.
Yeah.
It feels like for a long time now. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't, and it's costing us. It costed us today. I mean, I don't. I mean, you get this Jefferson kid down. I mean, they're not kicking that field goal. 61 yards. They're not doing that. This is going into overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they find different ways to shoot themselves in the foot, man. I mean, Richie James, he had that drop that would have easily converted the first down. A dime by Daniel Jones, which, don't get me wrong, Richie James, I mean, he on my shit list. He still is, but he did come up for us a little bit today. I mean, he had a nice 31-yard catch. He had some first down conversions that we needed. Isaiah Hodgins is proving me wrong again. I mean, each week he's proving me wrong. And I love it because he's looking like a stud out there. And I don't care what no one says. I saw people say, oh, that's a past prime Patrick Peterson. That's a Hall of Fame corner right there.
It is.
That a practice squad player was giving him the work. Give this kid a number one wide receiver, man. Stop playing with me, man. Give this kid a number one wide receiver and watch what he gonna do.
And his squad, I'm glad you said that, because the biggest difference in this game, when it came down to it in the end, is they had a number one receiver that was able to beat our coverage. And as good as Hodgins and James and these guys played, they also make critical jobs because they're not to the caliber of a Justin Jefferson. And we shut down everybody else. Thielen did nothing. KJ Osborne, who was racking up plays before the last game, it was really Hawkinson and Jefferson that got us this game. Even Cook was bottled up for the whole time. Exactly.
Right. It was.
And Cousins was usually Cousins, but you got to give him credit. The dude made plays at the end. But anybody that bashes Daniel Jones, seriously, give up your Giants card right now.
I've already seen it on the timeline. I closed out.
That's ridiculous. Twitter. What are you going to bash him for? What was Daniel Jones' fault?
This is crazy. This just is indicative of what the cornerbacks we have back there anyway today. Like, you just because those blitzes weren't getting home necessarily, but at the same time they were still disrupting. They were disrupting the plays, and Kirk. I mean, got our guys on the back end just not capable of making enough plays, man. Just not making the plays. Thank you. Just not capable of making the plays there. So it's like I said. I feel very confident going forward with this New York Giant team. Get another off season, make these moves, get some better personnel in there, and this New York Giant team is going to be it's going to be dangerous. We're going to be a well-oiled machine next year, man. We're going to be a well-oiled machine.
Facts.
I agree with this comment. I'm starting to lean more towards this way. We need linebackers. So what John says, he's not that far-fetched. We need linebackers inside badly because it's becoming a major weakness of this team. Everything up the middle of our defense is becoming a problem. Besides Leonard Williams and Dexter, our slot cornerback position and our middle linebackers are getting exposed week in and week out, especially in the screen game. We need to upgrade at those positions, whoever it is. Absolutely.
You also need interior defensive tackle help because depth.
We need depth there.
Because they're tired. And because I was watching, and there were times that they get good extension in terms of their initial pop, but then they don't get off of the blocks. So there are times when if you just Dexter did it a few times, and you see when he does it, he gets penetration in the pass rush or also in the run game when he was able to get to Dalvin Cook a couple of times. So, those are the things they need to work on. But yeah, I'm with you. ILB is vital right now to everything to help that front seven. It really is, because I think it really helps a whole lot more. And then getting more cornerbacks who are they don't consistently get injured, but when they go out there, they produce.
Well, Dallas just got a turnover on Philly.
Dallas going to win this game. Said that all week. You'll see.
You did. You did say that.
I actually fucking don't know how I called the Giants score to a T, but I don't even care about that, man. I'm just so I had to walk out of the house for a half hour. I told people leave me alone. I was so because I just feel like Yo, that's the best game the Giants played this year.
Mhm.
I swear on my life.
Mhm.
Oh, John, we can't. We restructured Leo's deal, so it'd be a monster cap hit if we cut him. He's going to be here next year no matter what. Him and Adori, they're not going anywhere because of the restructure we did before the season. But
There
I
may
Rob
be
think
Payton's nice.
what coach said is right though. Just need to get some more depth help for those guys, keep those guys more fresh through the course
Yeah.
of the game, man, because they're just getting worn down. You
Mm-hmm.
just don't have anybody else to plug in there and during the game. You can't just nobody to rotate in and out. Get these big guys a break, man. They need a blow, man. They big guys out there grinding in them trenches, man.
Yeah.
We just don't have the pieces, man.
That's right. I get rotation in the interior, a rotation. But I think they might let Leo go because he's starting to get a lot of injuries, and they could use that money, and they'll draft another defensive tackle. I mean, we've always been good with that in our history. I love Leo, but you're gonna have to lose somebody here and there. You can't.
What's
keep the whole
his cap hit? What's his cap
$32
hit next
million.
year? And we can't cut him. He's going to be here no matter what next year. We
Oh, all right.
as
Oh,
well.
listen,
Yeah.
man, I'm not against him being here. I love him.
Me too.
I could see.
But
I
we
could see an
definitely.
extension.
That's a good point. Why don't we sign him to some type of extension and stretch those years out and stretch that contract? That's a great point, his squad.
Yeah,
Who the hell
do
wants
something.
JPP? That guy's an old man. What, are you serious?
No, I don't want JPP.
Nah,
wait a
JPP's not
minute.
gonna come. He's not gonna be back here.
He's retiring, man.
JP
Yeah.
chasing another ring. So
Look, let this guy. Listen, besides the receivers, which we all know they're gonna go
Yeah.
after. How about it? Let's get a real center here, for real. Let's finally get a real center and solidify the O line.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
You're right.
And Neil going into his second year, he's going to learn a lot from this season. He's going to do work on his technique, work on his hand placement, work on all that kind of stuff to get better next year. And Thomas, once again, did Thomas get beat at all this game? Because I didn't see it.
I didn't really see.
I mean, Andrew Thomas played a pretty clean game.
not to my recollection.
Yeah.
By the way,
Pretty
to
clean
answer your
game.
question earlier,
Let me
his squad,
see.
I didn't see any. I didn't
I
see any
believe
blind
next year
side pressure. I didn't
Thomas
see any
make the
blind
Pro Bowl.
side pressure. Most of Daniel Jones' pressure was
All right.
coming at his face. He wasn't. I didn't see any blind side pressure
Here's
at all.
here's
I
Leo's
believe next year
contract.
Thomas will be a Pro Bowler.
Go ahead, Coach.
All right, Leo pre-June 1st. If you release him, his dead cap hit is 20.2 mil with a savings of 12.04. If you trade him, it's the same thing. If you release him post June 1st, his dead cap goes down to 14.26. 24, he goes to 5.9. And next year, if you did cut him post June 1st, it's the 18 mil savings. Same thing with a trade.
Also, they have a decision to make.
You probably would be better off. If you want to extend him, because the other thing, why I say with depth, because he's injured, he's tired. When you get tired, you're more susceptible to injuries. Him and Dexter, which is why you need depth. If you get depth and he's fresher, it lessens the possibility of injuries, and he can come out there and he can produce. So, even if you extend him an extra year or two, you could spread that out over that savings over next year and probably the year after that, because you're now spreading his cap hit to an extra 2 years. You can even throw an avoidable year, which will give you a small somewhere down the road. And I mean, Dexter's what, 28?
He's around that age.
He's 28
Is
now.
he that
He'll be
old?
29. He's 29.
Dexter
He'll be
is a
29
Leo.
next year. I said
Is that
you're
Dexter or Leo?
No, Dexter Lawrence can't be.
No, Leo.
Yeah, Leo's up there.
No. I'm talking about Leo, but that's
No, I know
what
what
I'm
you.
getting
Yeah,
at.
my
It's-
bad, Coach.
even if you push his contract to 33, I mean, he's look at what Philly did with grabbing some older defensive linemen. They're still serviceable. I mean, they don't have to be top end talent, but they know what to do, and they can plug, and they can be depth pieces. So same thing with him. And even if you like I said, put in an avoidable year late on the back end, it saves you now, which is what you want to do. And what do you do? Maybe give them avoidable of about 3 to 5. And with the way the salary cap keeps growing, you might be able to afford that later on. So
Would you do a
Cutting him
3-year contract with Voidier?
if you mean adding 3 to what he has now, because his current
Yeah.
contract goes to 24. So if you're talking about 3 more years,
24.
that's pushing him to 34. That'll push him to 27. And I can see it, but what do you? I mean, you got to go to what you're gonna his per year average.
You're right.
So I could
Have you
see
heard of
it,
this
yeah,
player,
in a
Coach?
sense. It depends on what it is.
Trenton Simpson out of Clemson, a hybrid safety linebacker. That's what
Yes,
John
yes,
asked.
yes, 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 yes. He kind of reminds me of whatchamacallit, who Arizona took.
Oh, Simmons.
Isaiah
You know, he
Simmons.
Isaiah
has,
Isaiah
Simmons?
Simmons,
yeah,
yeah.
he has some of those capabilities. So um, I've heard of him. I've seen a little bit of him. I still got to break him down. Um, if he's there, I mean,
Dallas
if
just
you're going to look
scored.
at linebackers, yeah, you could look at him. You could look at the kid from, I think the kid from Oregon is probably going to be the one that might be there.
So
What's
what?
his name?
Sewell? Panay
Sewell. Yeah,
Sewell's little brother.
yeah.
Okay.
So he might be there. So that's someone you could also target too. And he's played against talent, and he has the talent. He has the abilities and the talent. So um, started looking a little bit, because I've already finished looking at interior offensive linemen. So I've started looking at linebackers and cornerbacks because those are the ones I'm looking at. Receivers, I still believe you can get those in the second, third, and fourth rounds.
Yeah.
You can still get a number one in the third round. I mean, to
Right.
me, if A.T. Perry is there in the third round, that's a legitimate number one kid. Or what's his name from Tennessee? Not
Oh,
number 11.
Tillman. Yes,
Yeah,
Cedric
Tillman.
Tillman, I think.
Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah, Tillman.
Mm.
So you can probably get him because they're big body guys. They can play the X spot, decent speed. You can develop them. So Perry is he's like 6'4". I think he's like 220, 215. So, and Simmons is about 6'3" and about 220, somewhere in that range. So, receivers you can get later. You can still get two receivers in the draft. So one early, one late, because we have 11 draft picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Do you think we're keeping all those draft picks, or do you think we might use some of those draft picks to maybe
depends
acquire
on
somebody in trade, like a wide
depends on
receiver?
depends on who's gone. Because right now, if you're letting a lot of guys go, you might as well keep your draft picks. I
John, I
mean,
think he got signed.
Eldrin Jenkins? Yeah, I don't
Yes.
know if they got signed to a contract. He's
I,
played all over the place too. He's played tackle,
I
guard,
believe he
center.
just got signed literally like 2 days ago.
Mm.
That's
He's the definition of a versatile lineman too. That guy's literally played everywhere on that Green Bay Packers offensive line too.
I mean,
yeah.
I'd be all for if we can get like in the maybe one of the mid rounds, get a stud center in the mid rounds, man, that can come in, bring in, and hopefully can develop and grow
they're
with
there.
with the young tackles, and that's how you build that offensive line for years to come, man. That stability there. Bring somebody, yeah, and let them
Georgia,
just all develop together.
Michigan. Yeah, there's Georgia, Michigan, Arkansas, Minnesota. It's one more. I don't have my notes in front of
Arkansas.
me, so
Uh,
yeah, no, the
was there a
kid from
Boston
Arkansas. You
College
got
one
the kid.
too? Or no?
No.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm thinking about what's his name from Florida. He's not a center. He's a guard. I'm thinking about what's his name. Osiris, because he's a guard. I mean, I was looking at him as a guard spot, but centers, I think there's like 4, 5 of them. Let me see if I can find my notes.
Does he have experience playing center at all, or is he strictly just a guard?
I've only seen him playing guard, so Pat knows him better than I would too. So
Okay.
Pat knows those Gator boys.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, because I know going into next season, I'm over the Shane Lemieux projects. I'm over these guys, man. Like
Yep.
Shane Lemieux, every
Me
time he
both.
gets healthy, he gets hurt
He's gone.
immediately.
He's out of here.
He's
Parrott's
gone.
gone.
He's
He's
gone.
gone.
Yep.
I would honestly
Mhm.
go into next season with Bredesen as my leader for left guard. Maybe you could have a Zudu compete for that position, but
Don't
Bredesen
forget,
showed me enough to be the left guard.
But he's also showing to be a little injury prone as well. If we're
All
being
those guys
honest.
are. Everybody at that guard position has been injury prone. Zudu's been hurt. I
well,
mean, Keaton, it's unfortunate, but all these guys have been banged up, so it's tough.
Yeah,
And they just came out with a
Cyrus is
report.
offensive guard. You got Schmidt from. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just reading
Well,
John's
then,
comment about Darnell
no,
Washington out of
what
Georgia.
minutes?
Darnell Washington out of Georgia. We do need another tight end. That's a good point. We do need another tight end to go with Bellinger.
Stromberg. You got Van Pran from Georgia. Jarrett Patterson. That's from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That's
You know, he's a
your guy from
developmental.
Notre
You can
Dame.
probably get
Yeah.
him. Yeah, yeah. So you know, you can probably get him third round down. Maybe you know if he's still there in the fifth. I mean, he's good. You know, like I said, there's centers that you can get. You know, and you know with our because we're talking about Bredesen, Azudu. Don't forget we got McKeithen. You
Mm-hmm.
know, McKeithen is coming back. I mean, he has to be developed, but you know, that's somebody who's going to come back. He's still, he's coming back from his knee injury, but you know, you can put him on the bench, let him develop. You know, and then when he's ready, you can still. That's something that is either a swing interior alignment for the future that can do things for you. So you know, going forward, we're good.
Yep.
We're good. Yeah, I know about both of the tight ends out of Georgia. They're pretty decent. One's more in the line. He's like more of a flex tight end, while the other one is a big inline tight end. So I think it's 0 and 9 if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, linebacker. Going back to initial point, linebacker, interior linebacker to me is, and a cornerback are probably 1A, 1B, or tied on my preference. You know, maybe an interior offensive lineman later in second or third round down. And then you go from there.
I honestly believe that we're going to. I think we're honestly trading for a wide receiver in free agency. I do. I'm starting to gain confidence that we're going to go out there and we're going to try to. Shane's going to work the phones and try to get himself an established number one wide receiver.
You know who I'm infatuated with, so I ain't gonna say nothing else.
But what about some of these? What about if we can't get like a top tier guy like him? What about a guy like a Michael Pittman, for instance? He is a 1,000
Are
yard
you saying
wide
as a
receiver.
number one receiver?
I mean, he has
Are you
played.
saying
He has
as a
put up
number one or as a piece?
maybe not as a number one, but he's put up number one wide receiver numbers for a bad Colts offense that didn't have a passing game. So
yeah,
he's a good player.
I mean, I guess it goes. He's a good player. I guess it goes with what you add along with him. Because this offense is also showing you don't need that dominant number one. We want it. We all want it. Please don't think that's what I'm saying. But you know, I mean, right now we're playing with third,
Coach?
fourth, and fifth strings. Stop.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I know. I need to laugh. I needed this, man. I really did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. This was tough today. Thank you, Mac.
But so, where were we at? We were talking about Pittman.
We're not getting Metcalf. He's already signed a long-term deal with Seattle. Higgins, that's possible. That's possible.
But what are
we're
they
not getting
going to
Metcalf though.
No, Metcalf. No, you're not getting. Higgins is. You know, I mean, somebody said it before. We probably have a better shot at Boyd than we would at Higgins, and I'm starting to feel like, yeah, you might be right.
I could see that.
I would not complain with Tyler Boyd. It's been one of the best slot receivers in the NFL for years.
And I don't think you would have to give up a one for that either. So you keep your one, put that to another position, and you still get a solid.
But what do you do about Robinson then? You're moving Robinson to number 4.
I mean, he is going to be out at the beginning of the season. I mean, so we could also move Boyd to the outside, but Kansas City's always had those interchangeable wide receivers, so you could play them on the outside on some plays. You can play them over. Yeah, so at this point, you just need to get playmakers.
I mean, yeah, that's the biggest thing. We need the playmakers because again, like I said, today Jones continues to show, you know what, he's more than he's more than able to really lead an offense. You just got to get him the weapons. I mean,
Yeah.
say what you want, kill him. You don't believe him, you hate him, whatever. But I mean that shows this game right here shows what he can do.
Yeah.
And again, think about it. You have what you call you have what you call receivers. Where they at? Here we
Marcus
go.
Johnson.
Richie James had 90 yards. Hodgkins had 89. Slayton had 79. Those are three guys who are third, four, or five on your depth chart at receivers. If you want to really boost them up.
Mm-hmm.
He had over 300 yards. People would say, "Oh, he can't pass for 300 yards." He
Just
did
did it.
it. 30 for 42 for 334 yards. Let me look at third down
Like
because
you
I
said, he
think the
looked really
thing that hurt
comfortable
us
out there.
most
He just looked really comfortable.
He did.
we didn't produce on third down efficiency. We're at 27%, so that hurt us. Penalties, we had 7 penalties. So that's turnovers, third down efficiencies, and those penalties. I harp on third down efficiency. We're at 27%, while Minnesota was at 46%.
The
So
flag on
that means you're
Fabian Moreau hurt us too.
Yeah, it did.
mhm,
Because he had the
exactly.
pick.
So
He had the pick, and he decided to turn Justin Jefferson, and
Minnesota had 2 penalties the whole game. Wow.
yeah, they played a pretty much clean game the entire time.
And the one that they called on Leo where they said he was holding, I'm sorry, I
I
did
don't know what
not
the hell
see
that
it.
was.
I didn't see
I
that.
don't know where that came
That
from.
was terrible.
Yeah,
That was
that was bad.
Now, don't
That
get
was
me
a
wrong. They
phantom
did the
penalty.
same. They did the same thing to them on us too. So and I said the same thing. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about holding? I
Mhm.
didn't see it. So
I think that's
yeah,
just the refs throwing the flag for the sake of throwing the flag because they want to be
well,
hurt again.
no, it's only 9 total flags in the whole game. So I don't think it was that. It was just they threw them at the wrong. The penalties came at the wrong time. Let's just say that those
That's
They
true.
two,
called a bad. They actually called a bad holding penalty on Feliciano actually in the game too earlier in the
yeah.
game.
Yeah, they
All they did
did.
was just push the dude down to the ground. I mean, what do you want? Like that's not holding.
Seems like this
But
dude's a marked man now. That anything he does, they're ready to throw out that flag against Feliciano.
Mm-hmm.
but
And
that is a
jeez.
difference in this game too. These turnovers that the Giants could have had. That's 3 interceptions this New York Giants
Mm-hmm.
team could have had today. That
Mhm.
all got all turned away because of one reason or the next. Well, 2 just flat out not being able to catch the football, and the one like you said, Morel having the
Mm-hmm.
penalty. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the kind of things we just New York Giants team's gonna have to obviously clean up. But they did today. They showed that they can go out there and compete with just about anybody, no matter who it is. Because like I said, that
Mm-hmm.
was a high-powered offense right there. That defense, yeah, we know what happened late in the game. They weren't able to hold up quite enough. But at the same time, they played really admirable considering some of the parts they had out there defending some of the absolute best offensive players in the league. So
Think
You know,
think think about that block punt. That block punt gave them a very short field. A very short
absolutely,
field. So, if you get that punt away, you get it away. That takes that I'm sorry, that takes that score away. I I,
yeah.
I really believe it. Worst case scenario, they may have driven to get into field goal range and we would have been up. We still would have
Mhm.
been up. So it just
Uh,
how
no,
severe is his
I
ankle.
don't know how severe it is, but if it's a sprained ankle, that if it's one of those high ankle sprains, then it's a good chance that we might have lost disease for the rest of the season because that's going to take weeks to heal. But we got to find
That's
out
hurt.
tomorrow.
That
That's a big
hurts.
loss. That loss right there because the pass rush was solid today for the most part, but when Aziz went out, you notice Kayvon Thibodeau wasn't able to do what he did the last game because no disrespect to Jahai Warren and Zimenez and those guys, but
Mm-hmm.
not Aziz Ojolari. And Ojolari, you
Mm-hmm.
saw that stat: 6 games, 5.5 sacks.
Just
That
a
dude's a
Mm-hmm.
difference
beast.
maker. It's
A
just got to keep him
beast.
on the field. We have
And
to
what
find a
yeah,
way to
he's had
keep
a
that guy
tough
on the
year.
field.
He's definitely had a tough year with the injuries this year, man. It's been really rough for him.
Yeah.
Definitely missed a lot more time than he's been available this season.
Mm-hmm.
Just hope for the best with him, man. Like you said, this New York Giants team definitely gonna need him. Going into the playoffs because I still believe this team will clinch their playoff spot, man. It's a shame because all the stars aligned perfect for the Giants today. just to come up 3 points short on a 61-yard game-winning field goal. It's a tough way for it to work out, man.
Yeah, it
But
is. It's tough, but like we're sitting here saying, you see more positives than you do when you really think about it. Even on the defensive end, because I think this was more loss. It was more on the defense than it was the offense because the defense didn't capitalize on the opportunities, the turnover opportunities,
Yeah.
a couple of penalties, and then that third down and to Jefferson for the touchdown. I mean, that was third and long. That
You
really
can't
was
you
third and
can't
long.
allow
You
that.
can't.
You can't let that happen.
Worst case scenario, if he catches it and you make the tackle right there, they kick a field goal.
Hmm.
yeah,
That's really what it boils down to. And I didn't know what Penix was doing because he had over the top. I knew what Monroe was doing. He was playing with underneath. He really was. Which should he have been a little bit closer and got his head around a little bit quicker if he got closer? Yes, but Penix was. I just didn't understand why he was late in reading that. I don't get it. So because if he squeezes it, he's there.
Jordan Davis is down for the Eagles. Ooh, damn, that was a harsh shot he took.
damn,
But
he's
I
been
mean,
having problems staying on the field this year.
yeah, he's been banged up multiple times this year. But I mean, we need a Dory Jackson back. It's obvious we need a Dory Jackson back because if you can throw a Dory back out there, I think he's more important to this defense than McKinney. So I think the safeties for the most part have been solid. They haven't been spectacular. There have been moments where they've struggled. But for the most part, I think the Dory Jackson loss has been way more impactful than McKinney because if we could throw a Dory out there at that quarterback position, it's going to mix up things a little bit easier for Wink. I'm not saying that Dory's going to go out there and immediately be great, but still getting that number one cornerback out there is going to make it a lot easier for your defense to be able to operate the way it was before.
Well, see, the Adoree Jackson injury impacts Fabian Moreau too so much
Yep.
because now Fabian
Exactly.
Moreau has to assume the role of the number one cornerback. He's pretty much taking on the top guys, and that's not where the role that he was thriving in earlier in the year when Adoree Jackson was out there. So
Absolutely.
those things, that's that domino effect when things like this happen, man. It trickles down and it affects everybody. So, like I said,
Absolutely.
I really feel good about what this New York Giants team is building. I really do. Like I said, Daniel Jones showed me so much today. Like I couldn't be more proud of the kid, man. He went out there and just
He's our quarterback.
balled out,
Yep,
man. He
he
balled
is.
out. He proved that he deserves to be the New York Giant quarterback.
He's the
With this
quarterback.
performance
There's no doubt about it. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. There's no way, even if you try to go out there and get on Daniel Jones in any way, the only thing you could potentially get on him is that one interception. Otherwise, Daniel Jones did everything you want for your franchise quarterback to do. He drove you down the field and put you in position to at least send you to overtime. The defense and the special teams let him down. And Collins, I thought Collins was solid. He had a couple of nice pass defenses, and he was there in the run game. I think Collins has transitioned to that linebacker role pretty
He had a
nice.
sack too. He had a big sack too.
He did. He looked great out there, man.
I thought the safeties were great. I thought
He was all over the
Collins,
field.
Love, Pinnock, they all were solid.
Collins
Pinnock,
was
you
sticking
got to
his
bring
nose
this
in there
guy
for
back,
sure.
man.
I like Pinnock.
You really
They're
got
making McKinney expendable. I hate saying it, but the safeties have not been the problem.
I
It's
mean,
the
I'll be
quarterbacks
honest.
have been an issue.
I would still take McKinney over Love. So I mean, if the safeties are getting expendable, I mean,
I'm taking Love. The guy's just fitting into this
know.
defense like a glove.
but I would still take McKinney. I can't lie. That's just
No, I
me.
hear you. Talent-wise, you take McKinney, but Love just
Because he
seems
made
to
a
fit in this
mistake,
defense.
but we're paying the price for these mistakes.
No,
I mean,
I
we're
hear
paying
you.
the price for the mistake of Brian Dable and crew for putting a Dory Jackson out there. I mean, we're making the mistake. We're paying for the mistakes of Xavier McKinney. I mean, he'll learn,
That's a great point.
But even then, despite everything, man, I'm not too big into moral victories. But I'm like I said, I mean, I'm proud of how we competed. I mean,
No,
I really am.
Next week's game is massive. It is
The
massive.
only thing about I'm sorry, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, Mac.
No, I was gonna say the only thing about Jefferson and Collins and inside linebackers obviously is just their size, their physical, stature. You know what I mean? These
Yeah.
guys technically are safeties, kind of converting in the linebackers. You get up there too much in the mix, close to that line of scrimmage, and those big guys can have a way of maybe swallowing you up a little bit. So that's the only That's the only thing about that. But those guys, I mean, Landon Collins was all over the field today, so he was,
Yeah.
like I said, sticking his nose in there, and that just shows that veteran presence. He had to humble himself a little bit, get signed back on the practice squad. I mean, this guy's once a damn all-pro caliber safety in the NFL.
Yeah.
he had to,
He was.
it's a humbling experience to come in, had to come in on a practice squad deal and pretty much prove your worth.
Yep.
So,
I mean, there's a reason why he wears that green dot, man. I mean, he has this coaching staff has a lot of trust in him.
Who wears the green dot? I thought it was Love that was wearing the green
Oh
dot.
no, I thought we were talking about McKinney. My bad. I apologize.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
McKinney first, and then it was to Love now. Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them deserve to wear the green dot. I mean,
No, for sure.
either or, yeah. So the safety position is not something we have to worry about. I think we're very strong at the safety position either way. The inside linebacker and, like Coach was saying, the cornerback position. We have to upgrade that cornerback position opposite of Adoree.
Yeah, we're good with safety, like you said. McKinney, okay. Even if they want to, move on from him, I mean, you still have Belton. You can bring Pinnock back. You have Jefferson, who can play that tweener role. And even if you want to draft someone late in the draft, you're still able to do certain things. We're fine there. The cornerback, yeah. We definitely, to me right now, we definitely need at least two cornerbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, if Flott develops, then he can be that slot corner. Okay, fine. But you definitely need another boundary cornerback, as well as somebody else who can. Holmes, yeah, I've always tried to be understanding with him, but it just seems like you beat him with the same thing, and his ability to adjust is crazy. Damn it, you really aggravating me.
No, we're bringing
Like,
Isaiah Hodgins back. Hodgins is coming
Holmes
back
is like
this
that
year.
guy. The light bulb just won't come on. It seems like it just won't light bulb, but it won't come all the way on. It's like it's flickering a little bit
Yeah.
because he'll make a play here. Every once in a while he'll make a play, he'll be like, "Great play, dog!" Like he made one today in the game.
Yeah, he did that tip ball in the back of the end zone where he made that great play.
The pass breakup on Jefferson on 42.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a
He's
terrific
not
play.
a man-to-man cornerback. I'm
He's
sorry.
a zone guy.
He's a zone guy. You can get him a little bit, man. Maybe you can play him with a little 2-8 man under, where he has safety help over the top to really help him. But yeah, he's not a consistent man-to-man cornerback. He's just not. So he's better suited to be in the zone. So
CeeDee Lamb's got over 100 yards in the first half against the Eagles defense.
CeeDee Lamb is torching the Eagles defense.
Anybody want to talk about that guy not being a number one? He's a number one. He's playing like a number one. I'm wrong about him. I said he wasn't number one. He's a
Cowboys
number
are
one.
about to score again here. This is a good game.
It is.
They're going back and forth.
In San Francisco and the Washington Commanders, I think, are 7-7 right now in the other game.
Two both competitive games.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry,
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Jeff? My bad.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, that Detroit drubbing they took today by Carolina was huge too.
I was gonna
Seattle
say
losing.
that's exactly what I was
yeah,
gonna
but
say.
look at who they have afterward. They have the Bears. The Lions host the Bears, and then they go to Green Bay. I'm not saying they can't. I'm not saying they couldn't lose both of those. They can, but and then Seattle has. I know they have the Rams and the Jets. They host the Jets.
The Jets are the Jets are. They're going down, and they're going down fast. That team is a.
It's only about the quarterback. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's about the quarterback.
The quarterback's killing that team.
The defense plays fairly well. I mean, if you have a quarterback.
I'm going to say this too. Trevor Lawrence is becoming a great quarterback very quickly. That dude is becoming a great quarterback. Look at the weapons he has. He's made Zay Jones, Marvin Jones Jr., Evan Ingram, and Christian Kirk into guys that look like elite players with the way he's played this year. Trevor Lawrence has played very well this year.
Sunshine was like that at Clemson. Freshman year, he came in, little buzz. You see the talent. Second year, I think that's when they won the championship. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's kind of, he's always had talent. It's, it's just putting it together. And, yes, he had the wrong coach last year.
Yeah.
Credit
to Doug Peterson, too.
Yeah, and Peterson is definitely – Philly. You see, Philly still loves him. Sending him his cheesesteaks. So, oh my gosh, I need my meds.
Ow.
I need my meds.
But now, Blue City, Isaiah Hodgins is going to come back next year. It's just the question of what is his good role going to be. I think he's earned himself another shot with his team. I think he's a solid depth piece, but we still need to go out there and get ourselves 2 boundary wide receivers. We need 2 starting guys on the outside. Maybe you could put Hodgins in the slot, use him as a bigger slot, unless you want to get yourself a more established slot player or playmaker. I don't know if you guys hit squad and Mac, you heard it. Maybe a guy like Tyler Boyd.
I mean, you can get our
He's a good
hands on a
player.
playmaker like that. I mean, obviously, like we said, we know we just need upgrades at that position, point blank and period, and just a matter of what kind of resources we're going to use to get them. Whether it's via the draft, free agency, I mean, a trade, whatever it's going to take. We obviously know there's a glaring need to upgrade the wide receiver position. That's just
Yes.
without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes.
You're right about that.
Wait a minute.
Absolutely.
Or-
And I mean,
Wait a minute.
Slayton's a solid guy, but he's not
Yes.
probably coming back either.
Well, I mean, he already took a player-friendly deal
He's playing
this
himself
year,
out of.
obviously.
Yeah, he's going
I
to
would
Playing himself out of
Slayton.
range. Yeah.
I
agree
would
with
still,
Coach.
I would bring back Hodgins, and if Slayton's gonna what, let Slayton what? Because I think it was you, Jeff, that had said it a little while back. I mean, we need a complete overhaul in this
We
wide
do.
receiver room.
We do hit squad, and no offense to Slayton, but I don't know if this coaching staff has ever really liked Slayton. I think it's because of Galladay being so ineffective, and Shepard and Robinson going down with injury, and the Tony fiasco. I think they had no choice but to play Slayton because they didn't play the guy at the beginning of the season for a reason. There's got to be a reason why this dude did not play.
Well, here's the thing. I think Slayton has definitely earned his coaching staff's respect now.
Oh, for
But
sure.
the problem is he gonna come? He's not gonna just come back on some just team friendly deal necessarily again. Now this guy's gonna want to benefit from him stepping up, and stepping up to the task. I mean, he's become number 1 wide receiver for the New York Giants this year. I mean,
If somebody
it is what
offers
it
him
is.
$8 to $10 million, if they
Well,
offer him
not.
$8 to $10 million, he's gone. Now if the Giants say 2.5 to maybe 4, and he takes it, that's a different story. But I can't see him doing that right now with what he's doing this year, because the argument is going to be, I was the number 1 receiver this year. I mean, he didn't put up 1,000 yards, but you got to at least, between 5 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
And who do you draft? I mean, yeah, we all know Galladay is gone, so that money comes off post June 1st. So it's just, I mean, are they also bringing back Slayton? That's the other thing. I mean, not Slayton, Shepard. Because some said he's coming back. I don't know.
If
Shep
he's
said
coming back,
guys-
just retire after next year. Just retire. If you want to come back just to stay a Giant for life, come back on a very reduced deal. I've mentioned this before. I don't know if you guys agree. I know I've talked with Coach about this. If Shepard's coming back, put that dude on pup. Let him be out there for the first 6 weeks because he ain't coming back early. Then you draft other guys to come in, and if he can't stay healthy, he's gone for the season, and he can just go away and retire. It's the only way I'm bringing him back for a small deal, and he starts on pup.
The thing that makes it tough with Shepard is, this guy he's a New York Giant, man. I mean, he is a New York. He's there on that sideline. He's the biggest cheerleader out there, man. That dude
It's
is
the
up and
definition
down.
of a Giant.
He rides for this team, man, and he's one of those guys where it's just gonna be hard to just make. He's like to look in the face and say, "We just don't want you no more, Shep, man. We got to part ways." I mean, we all know it's a business, but he's one of those guys that just makes it hard for you to come to that decision, man, because he is out there. He was over in London when we played that London game with this football team, man. This guy, I mean, he is the definition of a New York Giant.
And you don't think he's helping out those younger receivers too, like an Isaiah Hodgins and Slayton?
absolutely.
He's out there probably coaching those guys up. He's pretty much Shepard hasn't been able to stay on the field, but that dude is like having an extra coach at the wide receiver position with what he's been able to do because he's got the earphone in his ear. You obviously see how much that coaching staff trusts him to be able to go out there and coach up those young guys. So, no, he's been one of the faces of this organization since 2016. It would be tough to see him go, but many people have said it. We can't pay for a cheerleader, and I've been one of the biggest fans of that dude Nobody's a bigger fan of Sterling Shepard than I am, and I even think that this might be the time to let him go. But if he's willing to come back on a short-term deal, start the season on PUP, and then like maybe another year or so and just retire a Giant for life, I'm fine with that.
When it comes to the contract issue thing with him, man, he has no leverage. He has zero leverage when it comes to that anyway. So I mean, at this point with the injuries he's dealt with, he's going to be hard pressed for anybody that's going to just throw a bag at him. You know what I mean? That's just not going to happen. So
he's better off if he just comes back on a short deal. Just take the money, come back, stay with an organization you love, especially if Barkley and Jones come back. Bring him back, let him sit on PUP, get him back, get him healthy, and maybe you can get him back for a late season run and reduce his role on the team. Don't make him a full-time starter.
This is off the topic of the Giants, but how about Sam Darnold's play lately in Carolina, man?
God, yeah.
Is that dude looking like somebody that's trying to plan for his career right now? Playing for his career right now.
Kudos to Sam Darnold. My God.
Yeah, they had. I think it was like one, or it was. Oh my God! It was either 180 or 230 by the half in rushing yards.
They're still in the playoff race, too. Carolina is not eliminated because of how bad that NFC South is. The Panthers still got a shot to win that division.
And boy, it's bad.
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady.
All four teams can have a shot to win that division.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, especially with the Saints when they don't even know who the hell their quarterback is, and yet they have a really good chance to still win that division.
Atlanta might have played themselves out of it today. I'm not sure. I know they lost. But
I can't, Mac. I can't count them out because everybody else in that division just keeps putting them back in because they can't win. So I mean, that division is that's as bad as that. Remember the NFC West years ago? How bad that division was?
Yeah,
it was like
absolutely.
Best team was like what? Not 7-9 that won it.
Seattle won that that wild card game because they hosted the home game against New Orleans.
Yeah. Crazy. I'm starting to get convinced that all four NFC East teams are making the playoffs. I'm really starting to get convinced that all four of them will be there.
I mean, I'd love it.
Tell you what, the way this is San Fran Washington game going so far, if the Giants would have won today, it would have really looked really good for that.
San Fran's got the lead.
Yeah, well, right now the game's tied. San Fran is driving though now.
They are. I'm watching that too.
It says halftime. San Francisco and Washington 7-7.
It's third quarter just started.
Oh, okay.
Juju, man.
I'm good off both of them.
No. Not as a number one. Not as a number one for me.
Yeah, no. I don't know, man. Juju had an opportunity to prove he could be a number one in Pittsburgh, and he didn't prove he could be a number one. Once Antonio Brown was gone,
right about
Juju had an opportunity to prove he was number one.
He's a number two receiver.
He's a very, very high end number two. Yes. Very, very high end two. A damn good player, but he's just not number one.
I mean,
he's benefiting because of Kelsey.
What is he doing in KC? I mean,
he's actually had a pretty good season. I think he's got almost 800 yards.
But is he the clear-cut number one?
No, it's Kelsey.
Well, Kelsey's always going to be a number one target.
That's my point. And you have if not one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So,
exactly.
That has a way of elevating your play as well.
That's my point. So that's what I'm getting. Is like you're playing with Mahomes is going to elevate you. So. But if you go somewhere else, we all are saying Daniel Jones has proven himself, but he's not a Mahomes. So
no,
you're right about that.
And Juju coming here, his play would be it would reflect that. It really would. And this fan base with
Schuster, he's got 7 receptions, 850 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Not bad.
Not bad. It's respectable. But. As a number one, you would at least figure 1,400 yards, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's actually really good numbers for a number two for them.
You're right.
I mean, right here we're watching this game right now. I mean, the Eagles got 2 number ones. Devontae Smith's about to have a 1,000-yard season too, and he's the number 2 behind Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love
the
something
Cowboys
like
got
that.
two great players too.
I'll be right back.
I'd be okay with that, John.
I would be absolutely fine with Tremaine Edwards and Travis Simpson.
I'd be really good with that.
Of course, we all would.
Because we cannot rely on Darian Beavers coming back and being the answer coming off a serious injury. And remember, the kid's a 6th-round pick. We got
Like
to
I
we got
said,
to
we
got
all
to err on the
yeah.
side of caution with him. We got to get real,
He,
true linebacker help in
I
there
mean, we
too.
all want to hope and think this kid can be as good as we all believe he can be, but we still don't
he's
know.
coming
All we
off
got
of.
is very limited preseason action and coming off of a major injury. So
Same thing with
Exactly.
McKeithen. We can't rely on these kids.
That's why I said McKeithen is more of a depth piece, and especially next year. But he's still young and developing, and there is something there. They
Yes.
wouldn't have drafted him if it wasn't. So, so that's why to me, can I see us drafting a guard next year? Yeah, but I think we're more going to draft a
Thank you,
center.
John. Have a good one too, John. Happy
Stay
holidays,
blessed,
bro.
damn, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy just dropped a dime into George Kittle. Goodness
Kid's showing us
gracious.
something too. That Brock Purdy kid is showing something.
Oh my God, that was
Let
beautiful.
me say it. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that throw. Touchdown 49ers. That's beautiful.
But it's something to say too when the kid like him's going out there. Like I said, no pressure. Nobody expects him to be good, so you just go out there and let him fly, man.
It's one of the most dangerous things. That's dangerous. That's what makes San Francisco even more dangerous. This kid's got no pressure on him. He can just go out there and play loose and free. I mean, it makes San Francisco that much more scary of a team in NFC. If this kid plays like this, that team is going to be extremely hard to beat.
That's also
really difficult to beat.
That's also a matter of the talent that's around you too.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, definitely.
Absolutely.
That kid got good talent, so around him, so it makes him also play better. I mean, don't get me wrong, Purdy was always a good quarterback at Iowa State. He really was. Because but he also had Brees Hall with him, which helped him and elevate his game. And that's the reason when you put talent around certain quarterbacks, like we've been saying with DJ, he still needs some talent, and Purdy is to me is indicative of that. He's a very good backup who can produce and who can win you some games. Now the next question is, the more games he wins, does he transition to become that quarterback? Because with what's his name on injury reserve,
Trey Lance.
Yeah, when he comes back, do you let them battle it out, or is it a situation like the Jets where the number one quarterback or drafted number one quarterback just really isn't it?
I think now. I'm sorry, cause I think right now what Brock Purdy's doing, you see what he does in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
Once we see what he does if his kid has a say take San Fran to the Super Bowl, I think you can't just bring back and hand Trey Lance a job.
No.
He's got to go back in there and earn it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean,
So, and that's that's interesting. San Francisco's in a good spot, very good spot.
Yeah, they definitely are. It's a good problem to have.
I really see getting CMC really because at first I was like, why? I'm not gonna lie, I really was like, why? I mean, but now I'm really seeing it. He does change that whole offense and makes it that much more dynamic, and you can just literally throw a quarterback back there to run that offense.
And then get a healthy Elijah Mitchell. I mean, they only got a couple games together, but it was explosive. Those couple games were explosive.
And remember, there's no Debo right now either. Debo's out with injury. Imagine when Debo comes back and you get all those guys out there together, and that offensive line and that defense, they are as complete of a team as they are. And this kid can just go out there, and as long as he doesn't make the timely turnovers, this team is going to be very difficult to beat. Them in Cincinnati, they're hitting their strides. They are becoming two of the scariest teams to play because they're coming together as football teams right now.
Oh man, fellas, I'm about ready to go because I got to go take my meds and lay down for a while.
Okay, Coach, we about to probably wrap up too because I got a couple things I need to go take care of.
Yeah, I
got Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah.
Merry Christmas to you, Coach, and happy holidays. Feel better,
holidays, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, but I'll talk to you later. I'll see you probably if I don't see you now. I'll see you on Tuesday, Jeff. But everyone in the chat, y'all be blessed. Have a good holiday, whatever you Kwanzaa, Christmas, or No, Hanukkah was just passed. But still, happy Hanukkah to everyone. Y'all be safe and stay warm if y'all out there if it's cold. So
It's very cold.
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
And that's kind of why my body is like, yo, bro.
It's that rough cold out there.
It's-
Any exposed skin, it's like freezing up immediately, man.
my ankle's killing me from when I broke it last year. It's like whenever you break a bone, and it just makes it feel that much worse in the cold weather. You feel like a sharp pain. So I hear him.
Trust me, I deal with spinal pain and numbing on all my extremities, so it's intensified. So, which is why Jeff, I wasn't with you earlier. It was just I was in bed. I ain't gonna lie.
Don't worry about it, Coach. Just make sure you get yourself healthy and make sure you get yourself good. That's the only thing that matters the most.
Coach. Gotta take care of you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll see everybody later, man. Y'all be safe.
You too. Happy holidays, Coach.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And happy holidays to you too, John. Thanks for coming by the stream, man. Appreciate it if you could sub up.
Hey, Mac, I got a question for you real quickly. I don't know if you heard about the news. I know this is not football related. You heard about the Carlos Correa mess, right?
I did hear about that. I was going to talk to you about it this morning. I found out about it this morning, so I don't know what's going on now there. So we got to see, because now the contract potentially could get voided as well, just like the deal with the Giants. So we'll see what happens, man.
And they could restructure it, maybe try to get a deal with shortened years. Maybe give him the same amount of money, but just shorten the years. But either way, that's a tricky situation for the Mets now. So we'll see. The Giants don't look that stupid now anyway. We can't make fun of them because now the Mets have done it. So we'll see.
We'll see, man. But yeah, I think it's a good time to wrap this on up, man. Get this evening going.
Yeah.
Got to get out there in that cold a little bit.
Yeah, good. Dress warm, man. Stay warm because it's freaking freezing out there. I gotta go run out there and get a whole thing of water if they're not frozen.
Yeah, good luck to that.
Thank you. Hey, good luck to you too. You're right up all those presents.
I want to thank everybody that came through, man. Support the Aftermath. Support my channel. Really appreciate it. Want to say happy holidays to everybody out there, man. Enjoy your holiday. Have a safe and happy holiday season. I'm MacDaGiantsFan. This is my guy, NYG Jeffy T85. Appreciate you guys all. Sub up, like, support both our channels, man. We bring that New York Giant content. Jeff brings also New York Mets content, Brooklyn Nets content, wrestling content, man.
Eight in a row, baby. Eight in a row.
Jeff is the man with the breaking news. Jeff is one of the hardest working men on YouTube, man. And I'm so proud. I'm so happy that I've gotten to know Jeff through this YouTube journey, man. Appreciate all the support he shows my channel. And he works with me. Always shows up for the aftermaths, man. So I ain't got to sit here by myself just talking to you guys. So I really appreciate everything you do, Jeff, man. And I really just help. I'm happy to see the way your channel is growing, man. And
I told you yesterday I owed you when you were with me that whole entire stream yesterday. I'm like, I owe you. And I told you I was going to be here. I told you I was going to be here. Man. Anytime, man. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words.
No doubt indeed, man. But definitely, it's your boy MacDaGiantsFan. Like I said, Giants had a tough one today, but there was still some learning experiences, and I know we got a good team. We got a good team for the future, man. It's gonna be some good football to be seen in New York for the years to come, man. So everybody have a happy and safe holiday. It's MacDaGiantsFan. This is my guy NYG Jeffy T85.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
And happy holidays.
I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, MacDaGiantsFan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at MacDaGiantsFan. That's MacDa Giants Fan.